So my kids are at this stage in their lives where they are growing up to that age, that the dreaded age that many of us parents are with. And we pray for, as Christian parents, we pray that our kids don't fall into the same trap that many young people, many youth have fallen into. Christian young people who have abandoned the faith and have followed a new path, different from how they were trained. And when your children are at this stage in your life, in their lives, preteen, teen, that's when your faith is sometimes tested. Your patience is tested. Your sanctification, if you believe in that, of course, if you know what it means, sanctification is tested. My name is Princess, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Here I talk about, Christian lifestyle. I talk about hair. I sing here, and I talk about my daily struggles and how the Lord is helping me to surmount them. So my kids are at this stage in their lives. I've been having conversations with them as well as with their dad and with myself, and asking God's help. Most especially, conversations with God is very important at this stage in your children's life. How you navigate your children getting into preteen and teenage years, it's a whole new ball game. Those who have succeeded in rearing children who, yes, they went through the struggle, but they were able to surmount it and stayed and remain Christians in the world where everything they believe in is challenged. We can say that they actually succeeded in in child training. Other parents is not to say that they are failures if the kids did not follow their advice, their leading, their teaching. It doesn't mean that they are failures. It just means that there is a lot that the Lord wants to still do in their lives, and it's still an learning opportunity. And if they've prayed, because as Christian parents we pray for our children, if you have prayed for these children, the Bible says the prayer of the righteous man availeth much. So your prayer is like seed sown in the ground. You might not see it spring up. It's just like some big trees in Africa that take a long, long time to grow into very mighty trees like the Iroko tree. You might not see it growing. It might take a lot of years to grow. But when it grows into a mighty, powerful tree. And that might just be your own situation. You think that maybe you fail as a parent, but I want to tell you today that you didn't fail. You didn't fail. If you have prayed and you're still praying for your children, just know that you are sowing seeds of greatness, seeds of life transformation, seeds into their lives, into their future. And in due time, you will see the benefits of your prayers in their life. Don't give up. I'm just telling you, encouraging you, please don't give up. Your child will do well. And so if you're wondering at this stage, you want to help your children, your preteen, to resist peer pressure, what do you do? Well, it starts with a few things. Building their confidence. It starts with communication, talking to those children, and building a sense of identity in them. There's some practical ways that you can support these young people as they navigate through this path in their lives. As we said, open communication. Have this non-judgmental line of communication with them. Let them know that they can talk to you. No matter what it is, they can talk about anything without fear of punishment or shame. You won't shame them. Teach them decision-making skills. Tell them, let them know, help them to know the difference between the pros and cons of all their choices. Practice what would you do scenarios so that they can know, through their options in advance, what they're doing, where it will take them to. And also you can act out common scenarios like being pressured to try something risky or exclude someone, and guide them in how they should respond confidently when they are in face of such thing. Now you can also teach them how to build their self-esteem. It's very important that kids have very strong self-esteem, because once their self-esteem is well built, it can help them to fight, to resist anything, emotionally, anything that life throws at them, friends throw at them. Once they have very strong, well-built self-esteem, it will encourage them to focus on their interest, to focus on the things that matters more to them. So when you talk to them, how do you build their own self-esteem? You do that by encouraging their interest. If you see that your child is interested in something, encourage them and praise them. Praise their efforts. When they make efforts in some aspect of their life, support their individuality, encourage them, give them that strong assurance that you've got them, that is okay even when they make mistakes, okay, that they should try not to make mistakes. But if they make a mistake, it's also a way of growth. Mistakes are also opportunity to grow. Help them to know that they are enough. They don't need to get validation from their friends. As long as Christ is proud of them, as long as you as their parents are proud of them, that's all that they need. They are enough. Okay? So just build in these children a strong sense of self. Okay, make it easier for them to say no to things that they feel is wrong. Encourage your young people to have positive friendship. Tell them to recognize what is healthy friendship versus unhealthy ones. What does it look like to have a friend who is healthy? One that respects their choices, that does not pressure them into uncomfortable situations. They should be able to make these differences. Teach them to be assertive. Show them how to say no. And no is no, firmly but respectfully, and how to walk away when necessary. Let them know that they can use phrases like, no, I don't want to do this. Show them how they can handle pressure and stand up for themselves, stand up for their values, because their actions speak louder than what they say. Okay, oh no, I don't believe this, or I don't believe that. The way they act that they display when they say no, they should not still be looking at that direction of where they've said no. Let them know that people watch their actions, people watch their reactions, people watch what if they say, oh, I don't believe this, or I don't believe that, or I won't do this with you. They watch them very closely. Friends are always waiting for an opportunity to come back at you and say, but you say you don't do this, but you're doing this. So let them know that they should stand by their decisions and say no when they need to say no, and when they need to say yes, they should be able to say yes when they're standing out for God. When the whole world is saying no to God and saying no to their Christian stand, they should be able to say yes, this is what I believe and this is where I stand. And most especially, how you live your life. You are a mirror that your children are looking at. How you behave, how you talk, the things you accept, the things you allow, they are very, very big indications to the children to know that, okay, if my parents is telling me that this or that is bad, are my parents doing that? If you are the kind of parent that says don't tell lies, do you tell lies? Are you that kind of parent that you're at home and you tell your children to tell the neighbor or to tell your in-laws or someone that you don't like or you don't want to see that you're not at home while you're actually at home? If you do that, then you are destroying what you're building. You're telling them something, do as I say, but don't do as I do. And that is not a good precedence. That doesn't help children because your action often speaks louder than your advice. Leave out your advice. Be a true reflection of what you say they should do. And the Lord will bless you. And pray, Lord. Pray for them. Don't stop praying. Pray for them. Read the Bible to them. Have devotional time with them. Take your children to church. Take your children to Christian gatherings. And encourage your children to listen to Christian music, to listen to Christian podcasts, to listen to Christian point of views, to read some Christian book, watch the kind of things that they read. And sometimes read through the preface, read through the text that they are reading, the novels. If your children are big readers, you want to know what they are reading. Very important, because most times music and text have a very big effect in the life of young people. I can tell you that for a fact from growing up. The kind of books that other kids were introducing to me back then in high school, in secondary school, in junior high, some of those books, they rattled my life as a young person. All those, you see a lot of romance books spreading. People create book clubs where they share romance books. So you want to know what your child is reading, what your child magazines, your child is looking at, what kind of music are they looking at, what kind of movies are they watching, what kind of cartoons are they watching. You want to be on top of all these things. Sometimes just take a time, sit down with the kids, watch the movie they're watching with them. You'll be able to see the things that these characters, these movie makers are introducing to your children, and the music that is being played on repeat, you want to know what they are listening to, and that way you'd be able to clearly guide your children. Okay, God bless you, and I pray that the Lord will help our children to stand firm, to continue to be a reflection of what God expects them to be, and God's grace is enough for them. And encourage your children to pray when they are faced before difficult circumstances. Encourage them that they can pray about it, and God is always willing and ready and there to listen to them. God bless you. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like these videos, and let me know what are the tips and tricks for all those parents who have been, older in the childcare, who have had older children. Some of you, your kids are married now. Some of you, your kids are out of university. Some of you, are grandparents. Please help us. Share your tips and tricks with us. I want to learn from you. Lots of parents here want to learn from you. And if you're a young person and you're also watching these videos, just pick a cue from this. I'm encouraging you to learn to say no. When you have to say no, say no. Don't let anybody pressure you. Nobody can live your life for you. Your life is your life to live. Your choices are your choices, and you live with the consequence of whatever choice that you make. That's why don't allow anybody to pressure you, because if you live your life based on what people have made you do, you will live your life to regret those choices that you make. God will help you and give you the courage to say no, like Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The three Hebrew children, even when they were going to be thrown into the burning furnace, they said, "No, we will not bow down to your idols. Damn the consequence, we will stand for God." And God did show up for them. God stood with them because they stood for God. God bless you, and see you next time. Bye.